based on that, I do get it. Like, I do get how the words can convict him, but I don't know. But for murder, I do think you need a bit.
I
I
don't
don't
think he'll be
know.
convicted of murder. I don't see murder because if I I don't know if you watched after the judge made his decision, but we can get into it. I don't know if you're going to play the judge is making his decision or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna play
If
it. Yeah.
but after the judge had like another hearing that we all stayed for with the one of the witnesses lawyers. The witness is his name is Victor Calandra, and he was
Um,
the one who
I
basically
heard
said
that
to
name.
Fraser, "You're going too fast." And he was saying, and so and I don't know, it's sort of unclear again, but he was saying that he thought that Fraser also had a phone in between his legs as he was driving, like implying that he was texting and driving and speeding, etc. And he said he stopped him, rolled had him like roll down the window and said, "You're going really fast. You're going to hurt yourself if you go that fast." But this witness is a little there's some problems with this witness apparently, to the point where the judge had to intervene on the defense behalf, and the defense brought their forensic expert to talk to this um,
Wait, this happened after. This happened on the same
yes,
day after.
same day. Yep,
Oh, I
yep.
want to get into this. I did not know this. This is not.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen this on the
No,
stream.
I don't know if they recorded this part or not. They should have, but maybe they did, but I haven't seen it,
I haven't
so
seen
I'm
it.
not sure
No.
if they did. Okay, so basically the judge intervened. The Allen and his firm brought their forensic cell phone expert
Mm.
in to say we need to download this witness's phone because they believe that that was the reason Fraser was going that fast around Dead Man's Curve isn't because he was being reckless, but because there was a road rage incident, that he was being chased by Victor. That's what their argument is going to be, I think, at trial. And so apparently there were some shady things that went on with Victor. And so the judge is making Victor take his phone to their forensic expert with the state's expert, and this lawyer also will be there in order to download the phone. And the judge is going to review Victor's phone, a star witness for the state, in camera. So that means by himself. And then if there's anything to turn over to the defense, it will be turned over.
Did not know this. Thank you for that. I'm gonna treat it as an exclusive. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
for that
it is.
insight. That's
Yeah, it
actually
is an exclusive.
amazing.
Because I thought about that. Like, no one is covering that. But that whole thing also happened. And that whole hearing took about 45 minutes.
Damn. So all of this could have been just a circumstance of a. If it's a road rage and he's running from somebody,
Could have been.
could have been a. Let's say. Sorry. Let me rephrase. Thanks for correcting. If there was a likelihood that this was a road rage and someone is chasing after him,
Right.
then that does change things. But could do you think that the
But
state
we
are
don't
going?
know that. And it's murky. And no one said, none of the other witnesses said they saw Fraser being chased by this man.
Right.
So I don't know if it's a thing or not. I couldn't tell, but it was like the defense felt they needed more information. And yet, normally, I don't think a star witness would have his phone downloaded by anybody, but there is enough sort of shady behavior, I think, from Mr. Calandra that made the judge say this has to happen. So I think that there's a lot more that will come out here, even from the prosecutor. I get a sense that we're not really seeing most of the evidence yet. So it'll be interesting as this case goes on to see where it goes.
Wait, and this was a hearing after the judge ruled on this one, this same day.
Yes,
Oh, okay, because
correct. Yeah.
I have to confirm. I have to ask because Darius says Larry Foreman did a coverage of this a while back. It was a hearing in the beginning of the summer, I think.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
are you
Yeah. There was
referring
a
to that
preliminary
summer
hearing.
or?
That's the hearing he was referring to, I think. Yep.
Oh, so it was a reference rather than a actual coverage of the. So it was a reference, but not.
Well, I don't know if the prelim was televised or not because I hadn't been following that case yet, and I haven't seen Larry's coverage to know. I mean, I don't think he went to court or anything. It didn't sound like it, but maybe he did, and I could be wrong on that. Darius might know better if he watched the video, but so.
Oh, okay. Okay, but
But remember how I was saying that they were speaking of the magistrate and the
right, right,
hearing
right.
where
Yeah.
this was already established? That's, I think, what is being referenced here.
Okay, so then so this is being referenced for the magistrates, and what you're
Yeah.
talking about is something that happened
Right after
after,
this. Like
right
no one
after.
left the courtroom. Right. And there's a female lawyer. I don't know her first name. Her last name is Sparania. Maybe Jackie, but I can't be sure. Ms. Sparania, we'll call her. She argued this motion, and so maybe that's why they turned off the cameras. And then Victor Calandra's lawyer was heated. He was really upset. He was like, I didn't know this courtroom was going to be this packed with people and I'd have to come and argue for my client. And he was really upset about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's
He
just
argued passionately for his client. He was saying, like,
okay.
no one's, I mean, why should he have to turn over his phone? This isn't fair. I mean, he made some good arguments, I thought. And he was saying that the defense is basically on like a fishing expedition, that they just want to see. And so the judge sort of was like, well, they get the right to see because I don't know, the circumstances were a little like blurry in a sense. Like I didn't understand all of it. It sounded like maybe he didn't show up for a hearing, but then the defense gave him permission not to show up. But then they found out he was not where he said he was going to be. He was actually in LA and could have shown up. I don't know. It was a little unclear. It sounded like they had litigated this a little bit before, but who knows?
Okay. All right. Okay. I did not like I said I did not know any of that. So
And
uh
most people didn't, I don't think. And I didn't see it reported on, but it was a thing. And we all sat in the courtroom for that long hearing. It wasn't like, because it was still part of this case.
how long was the hearing in total? Do you think? How long were
Oh,
you
like
like
over 2 hours.
over two? Okay, so the recorded
It was
part
long.
that we saw was an hour 22. So yeah, so
Yeah, so it was
yeah.
over 2 hours for sure. Because there were some other cases that needed to be called. I did hear some people say that this Mr. Calandra allegedly has had problems with anger issues in the community. Now, I can't verify any of that. I don't know the community. I don't know him, so I'm not casting
Right.
aspersions, but I just thought, oh, that's really interesting. Like, and they reference that in the hearing too, so I'm not saying anything out of turn, but maybe that's why um the judge is gonna, I don't know, it was really, I've never seen the judge say to someone who's not really involved in the case except to be a witness, you have to turn over your phone.
Okay. Oh, oh,
Yeah, we'll have
yeah.
to see what
That's
happens.
yeah. Like that's critical because what's left now. You gotta consider as well. You gotta
Yeah.
consider what's left because there's a high likelihood now that that going to trial, if let's say that that it is accepted or there was
Yeah.
evidence of some kind of road rage, the prosecution, the state might just decide to pivot and argue that he was actually racing. They might do that to secure the
Oh,
conviction.
interesting. I never thought of
They
that.
might,
Oh, that's an interesting take.
because they
Yeah.
might, but like it would obviously need to then go into a point that there was an arrangement or to do this particular race, but they might also at the same time go like, no, they verbally agreed at a stop or something like that. I don't know. I
A
don't
couple
know.
of other, you made a good point. A couple of the other points that I thought were interesting from the hearing were that uh, Fraser Bohm told police that his mirror was, or the left side of his car had some damage as a result
Yeah,
of this,
I
but the
remember hearing
paint that
that.
they found wasn't from the same color as Calandra's car. Calandra drove a bright blue car and this was white paint. And then something about the airbags and swerving. He was saying he swerved to the right, but maybe it was to the left. So I thought those were kind of interesting points. And maybe that's also what made the state say we might have a chance with second degree here too.
Okay, I appreciate that. I
I don't
appreciate
know.
that. I appreciate no no. I appreciate the whatever insight that you're getting from the courtroom. But yeah, like
Those are just my own personal
yeah,
observations. That's not really
no that
anything that has to do with
on
it, just what they said in the hearing. And I just was like putting it together. Like maybe again, I just think this case, I wonder if they'll plead. I don't know if they'd ever plead out, but like maybe this is a case where you say, this was
They would
tragic,
never.
this was
They would
manslaughter.
never offer a plea. Like they know he
No,
can.
I agree. I
They
don't
they know he
think
can. They
so.
know he can satisfy anything. Like that's why the bond is so high, because he will make the family think twice. Like, should we actually
Yeah,
pay
yeah,
3 million
that's
for
true.
this?
But it might be a point where, like you said, if they do find some more evidence. I mean, it sounds like they're still in some ways investigating. And remember, Alan Jackson just came on, what, like a couple of months ago. So they're probably, remember how when Kieran, when he came on in Kieran's case, what really broke it open was the dog bite on the arm.
Yeah, yeah,
And do you remember how, I don't know, did you watch Alan on Turtle Boy's channel?
yep. Didn't miss it.
Yeah, he was saying that something about, like, he saw the dog bite and that's when he realized, and then that's when they went down the road of, this isn't manslaughter, this isn't anything like that. And so I think maybe they're seeing some things that make them wonder, like, all right, what is this? But that's just my thoughts on it. Maybe that's true.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the insight. Let's continue on with the judge's decision, and then we'll talk about it briefly. Let's
Yep.